Hey, it's David Duford at davidduford.com, where I help insurance agents like you become top producing insurance agents. And in today's video, I'm going to do, again, a basic overview of the different types of insurance products a new insurance agent or experienced agent can sell. But like I just somewhat referenced, this video is based and really designed to help those who are new to the insurance business, who don't really have a big understanding of what the options are out there and what they could potentially sell, and really kind of want like a beginner's guide to understanding the basics so that they can make a right choice on how to proceed in the insurance business. So what I have decided to do to kind of categorize the different options to sell insurance is basically break it up into three different segments. So there's no rhyme or reason here. It's just trying to organize the information in the most critical capacity that makes the most sense. There's going to be some crossover between some of these categories. It's not so much important to pay so much attention to the categories as to understand the different subsects of the category. Because one of the things you got to decide on in the insurance business is what approach is best, what product is best for you and your personality, and what kind of market and kind of income that you want to make. There's a lot of considerations to make. And the goal of this particular section is to go into the pros and the cons of each product, again, so you can have a better understanding of what you could do and what directions you could go as a new agent. So let's get started. So this first category here is life insurance. So in case you don't know, life insurance is an insurance product that pays a benefit based usually on when somebody dies. Okay, now that doesn't mean that the product is no good if they don't die. There are products we'll talk about that have what's called our living benefits. They pay a benefit while the person lives. So it may not be the life ending. It may be an event in their lives that stimulate or cause the reaction of the policy to come into force and pay the benefit off. So we'll talk more about that in a moment. But the concept here is it's based on the person's life. It's primarily underwritten based off of health, and it pays a benefit in some form or fashion. It can either be a one-time lump sum, or it can be payments paid out over an expressed period of time. So the most common life insurance products that are markets to sell into are as follows. The first one, again, no particular order here, but one that I've been and had most experience in is final expense. Final expense essentially is life insurance, specifically whole life insurance, that is sold as a form of payment or way to pay for a particular person's burial. Final expense is predominantly sold to low-income seniors and disabled people who don't have the means financially to pay for a burial or cremation and don't want their kids to do it either. The policies are what we call simplified issue. There's no medical exams. You usually get an instant decision if you use a company that does a phone interview. And the clients appreciate how quickly it takes and the peace of mind that it gives. And the great thing is many people in the final expense market act as brokers, shopping around to see which policy is going to be the best price and the best coverage. I like this market because, first of all, it's a mass market. There's millions of people that fit the bill here, and they're not going anywhere either. There's more and more people who are underinsured or just not insured at all. And with the aging population moving the way it is for the next 20 plus years, it's going to continue to grow and grow and grow. So final expense remains a great sales opportunity. I've got lots of videos on the business if you'd like to learn more about that. Next on the list here is mortgage protection, kind of a cousin to final expense in the sense that mortgage protection, instead of selling to seniors and disabled people, you're selling to a little bit younger group of working professionals, usually blue-collar professionals who are middle income. You're not going to sell wealthy people mortgage protection, but the premise of the product is that we sell a product that is based on when a person buys a home, where they now have this huge mortgage they have to worry about, and our product effectively pays the mortgage off if the breadwinner or breadwinners pass away, so the surviving spouse and family don't have to possibly become evicted, foreclosed on, and lose their home that they worked very hard for. So this is a great market because we're targeting people who have a life event. I'm big on products that have life events because more people are open-minded to buying stuff like this under these occasions. So I like those a ton. Mortgage protection is fantastic, although it's more difficult to get leads because it's based off of new home sales or mortgage refinancing. And there's not a lot as there used to be back in the 2000 aughts before the Great Recession hit. But it's a great business if you can manage it and you can find the leads. I've just got done talking to a top producing mortgage protection professional, and the way that he stays busy is he has a house in Portland, Oregon, has a house in Arizona, Phoenix, and a house in Boise, Idaho. And he travels and jumps around between all three of those cities to stay busy. And that's just what it takes for him to do it. And that's just kind of the nature of that particular business. Now, you can also just sell term insurance too, to different kinds of markets. You don't have to necessarily sell to people who just bought a home. Another great market to sell term insurance to is business owners, not just term insurance, but business owners in general. One of the biggest motivations for people to buy insurance is when they have obligations. Let's say a bank loan. They are financed, they owe the money to somebody, or they have estate problems that taxes will take apart the business they've built because all their net worth is built into the business. It's not liquid. Life insurance acts as a liquidity benefit. It will pay Uncle Sam and retain the business for the family. So there's a lot of benefits you can provide in the environment of working with business owners to help them solve these problems. Plus, many business owners just don't have benefits. They're not in a position like employees are to have all sorts of benefits, friends benefits, and that kind of thing. So they need help with things like insurance, life insurance, group insurance. We'll talk about that in a minute. Retirement planning, strategizing, that kind of thing. So it's a great market. I always recommend, if you like the idea of getting into this market, make sure you work with a solid professional. Really is all markets that I talk about, but especially in the business development market, because there's a lot more to it. Now, these aren't necessarily plans or programs that will pay a benefit when you pass away, but they will if events in your life occur. Disability insurance is a great market. This is when somebody gets hurt and can't work and meets the requirements in the policy, and they get paid a monthly stipend, usually not a stipend, but a monthly benefit that basically replaces the income earnings that they had. And then also long-term care is another product that it's designed to pay a nursing home or designed to pay assisted living if someone gets in a position where they cannot get they need the help to live and to survive, and they need to offset the costs associated with it. Now, you can also, back to the life insurance product, instead of, there's all of what I've talked about, you can sell individually. You can also sell in a group environment. So you can go into employers, large and small, sell group benefits to get employers benefit programs set up. These are great opportunities as well. There's a lot of scale and leveraging that you can do, and you can do that with everything: term insurance, life insurance, disability, long-term care, that kind of thing. So now I'm going to switch momentarily to health insurance. Now, this market used to be hot back in the day before the Affordable Health Care Act came in, Obamacare came in, and frankly destroyed the business model. Healthcare agents made good renewals, just like with Medicare, we'll talk about in a minute, and there's a great market for it. But since now everybody's insurable, and there's been a lot of cost impositions on providers, a lot of providers have gotten out of the market. They don't operate anymore. And if you are somebody who sells so-called Obamacare, you don't get paid anything for it. And so it's just, there's no viability. However, there are a few that do have some viability left in it, and that is Medicare. Medicare is essentially people who are 65 and older who are either going to buy a supplemental policy, Medicare supplement, to cover what Medicare doesn't, or what's called a Medicare Advantage, which is a private way or a private program administered by a private company to basically modify and augment what Medicare does normally, and in a way that's hopefully advantageous to the beneficiary or to the insured. So you can sell both of these products, and the great thing about them is they're renewal based. So that means you can develop money or make money when you don't have to necessarily work to earn it each time you get paid. So you can make great renewal income. There's one guy I know in the business named Christopher Westfall. He's done incredibly well. He has thousands upon thousands of clients, makes millions of dollars a year. He's been at it for 10 plus years now. And he's worked his ass off, and he's gotten to the point where this is the kind of money he makes because of all the effort that he's put into it. And that's something that people can get if they commit to the business. Then you can also do, the last point I'll mention here is financial grade products. These are technically life insurance products, but they're kind of sold with the spin of getting people some sort of financial living benefit, as I mentioned earlier, through the form of gains economically without the risk or minimization of the risk of loss. So the first product that's commonly sold are annuities. We have a program where we help agents learn how to sell annuities, where we walk them through the process, how to find them, and how to do it economically as well. So annuities are great. Generally speaking, are sold many times to people who are seniors or people getting close to retirements that are concerned about their money. They don't want to risk in the stock market, and they're worried, well, maybe what happens if I outlive the money I have? Big concern with a lot of people who are close to retiring or at retiring. And then, in somewhat similar, or what we call index universal life plans, also we could use whole life insurance products as well, where you have dividends that pay and you get a return on your cash value that is developed in the policy. And there's pros and cons to all of those. I'm not going to go into too much detail there, but the point of this is that there's products out there that can mimic what an investment grade financial product does, like buying shares in the stock market with your IRA or your 401k, but also has the advantages and the risk abatement of insurance products, meaning that there's products that eliminate the downside risk of the market. They may limit to some extent the upside, but the idea is to sell people who are sensitive to the downside on a product that gives them more peace of mind than just putting it out in the market and risking the fluctuations on both the up and the down. So this is just a short sampling of what's available and what kind of products are available. If you'd like to see any more products talked about and discussed in a future video, please leave comments below. I'll be happy to take your suggestions. I do hope you like this video. Please share, subscribe, and like it if you do. And especially share it with your friends who are new to insurance as well. If you like the idea of selling insurance, you want to see what I have to offer, go to davidduford.com. Click the Join David's Agency button at the top, where you can learn more about how my recruitment programs work for final expense, annuities, mortgage protection, and Medicare supplements. My name is David Duford at davidduford.com. Thanks for watching. Take care.